The video you've all been waiting for. Well, I guess if you're a Mets fan, you've been waiting for this one. And maybe if you're a White Sox fan, you've been waiting for it too. Finally gonna talk about some of the big moves that have happened since Christmas Eve, because I haven't been able to cover anything recently. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, spending it with the family. Yesterday, got a new apartment, so we gotta get that all set up. But we're finally covering the Betances move to the New York Mets, Edwin Encarnacion to the Chicago White Sox. We got Kole Calhoun to the Diamondbacks. A lot of moves have gone on the last few days, and I'm gonna cover them all in today's video. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like on it. That's the best way to show your support on the channel. Subscribe if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember to get in the comment section down below. Give me your thoughts and opinions on the moves that have been going on in Major League Baseball thus far. And don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. I'm always talking baseball over there. So let's talk about the move for my favorite team, the New York Mets, first, where they signed Dellin Betances to a one-year deal with two options, one of them being a player option for 2021, and then there's a vesting player option in 2022. The deal is worth 1 year, $10.5 million, and he has a chance to make up to $13 million if he makes a certain amount of appearances in the season. Let's get it right off the rip here. I really like this move by the New York Mets. This is a guy that we had to go out and get. This is a guy that we needed to go out and get. This is a guy I wanted them to go out and get. Yes, I know that he's coming back from some pretty big injuries. He had a problem with his Achilles. He's had some problem with his lat muscles. But I think that at 1 year, $10 million, the Mets are not really taking on a lot of risk here, especially when they got that money recouped from the Yoenis Cespedes contract. But his contract got crushed a bit this year. They saved a lot of money, and they now put that towards Dellin Betances, who's going to be a very valuable piece to our bullpen. It's just a matter of what version of Dellin Betances are we going to get. Are we going to get a fully healthy Betances in 2020? Because if we do, it's going to be fantastic. Or are we going to have a Dellin Betances who's damaged goods? He's going to be hurt a lot. He's going to be struggling when he is on the mound. Of course, I'm hoping for the better, and the reasons are pretty obvious as why I want him to be the better version, because he's disgusting when he's healthy. When he is good and when he is going, he is one of the toughest relievers in all of Major League Baseball to hit. There's no denying that. He has devastating stuff. His pitches are absolutely disgusting. He can have some control issues. He has had some walk problems in the past, but with how good his stuff is, people really aren't hitting him very much, and they're not hitting him for very hard contact. He's a hard guy to get a hit off of. Only made one appearance in 2019, but the prior 2 years for the Yankees in 17-18, he was fantastic. 132 appearances in 2 seasons with a 2.78 ERA, a whip at 1.132, 15.3 strikeouts per 9, which is unbelievable, 5 walks per 9, which is high, 0.7 home runs per 9, 5.2 hits per 9. Struck out 215 batters in 126 and 1/3 innings, walking 70, giving up 10 home runs. So definitely an issue with the walks. We need to cut down on that big time. Like, even if he does go back to the Yankee form, I would love to see him cut down on the walks. They're just a little bit too high, a little more than you'd like to see, but there's no denying that his stuff is disgusting. Even with walking 5 guys, he still strikes out 15 or more batters per 9 innings. That's one of the best in baseball. You're getting up in the Josh Hader type territory, which is just unheard of. His FIP was 2.83, ERA plus at like 150. I am really happy about this Dellin Betances signing. You add him to the Mets bullpen, which needs depth, and this adds depth for sure. You're gonna assume that the closer is gonna be Lugo in 2020, right? Then you've got Edwin Diaz, you've got Jerry's Familia, you got Dellin Betances, you got Justin Wilson, you got Robert Gesellman, you got Waka, who's gonna be out there. There's a lot of different options for guys now that the Mets can go to. You're not gonna be seeing Paul Sewald, Jacob Rain, Tyler Bachelor, some of these other guys, barring injury, of course it's gonna happen, but at their absolute healthiest, the Mets bullpen has a lot of different options. I also forgot Brad Brock, who is fantastic for them down the stretch. I like where the Mets bullpen's at. I would love to get another left-handed arm in there, but I understand now with the 3-batter minimum rule, they kind of are a little bit like the loogies. They're not around anymore. So I want Luis Avilan, but he's probably not going to come back because he really can only get lefties out. Still though, get another left-handed arm. Get some more just like depth pieces. It doesn't need to be a big name now. You can go out and get some minor guys. I think the Mets bullpen is going to be looking better than it was in 2019. And we got to assume that Diaz and Familia are going to be better, right? Like, they can't get much worse. And I'm putting my trust in Jeremy Hefner to figure out what was wrong with them. They brought him in to be the new pitching coach. Figure out what was wrong with Familia and Diaz. Get Betances back healthy. Get him to cut down on the walks. This Mets bullpen can be very solid, and I really hope it is. I'm going into the season very hopeful. We then have the Chicago White Sox going out and making a little bit more noise this offseason. They've been busy already signing Yasmani Grandal, trading for Nomar Mazara, getting Dallas Keuchel, Gio Gonzalez, and they added another huge bat to their lineup in Edwin Encarnacion a few days ago, a 1-year, $12 million deal with a club option for 2021, again at $12 million, which I like. I like that they have the ability to get Edwin Encarnacion back in 2021 for a fairly reasonable price. He has proven that he is a major league hitter still. He's still going to hit you 30+ homers a year. He's going to get on base, high slugging percentage, high OPS guy. He's going into his 37-year-old season, but it really doesn't matter when you're a DH as long as you can keep swinging the bat, keep hitting for power, which is what Edwin Encarnacion has done pretty much his entire career. You don't really have to worry about the age, and he has shown no signs of really slowing down. Yes, his average has been dropping a little bit as the years go on, but he's still putting up the power numbers, and that's why you sign Encarnacion, is to hit home runs. Since 2010, he's hit 335 homers, an OPS OPS at 875 in that 10-year span. Like, those are really good numbers for a power hitter. And even last year in time split between Seattle and the New York Yankees, he had a nice season, all things considering. Wasn't getting playing time every single day, but he did a really good job with what he was dealt. In 109 games last year, he had 34 homers, 18 doubles, to give him 86 RBIs, 244 average with a 344 on base, 531 slugging, gave him an OPS at 875. And go figure, he hit better with the Mariners than he did with the Yankees, because of course the Bronx a lot more hitter friendly than it is in Seattle. But I think this is a huge move for the White Sox. I still don't think that they are a playoff ready team just yet. Maybe they sneak in the wild card, but the American League has definitely gotten stronger this offseason. You're seeing the Angels getting better, you're seeing the Rangers getting better, but then you're also seeing a team like the Indians getting a little bit worse possibly. Maybe if they even trade Lindor, they become a little more competitive with the White Sox. They still don't have the pitching, but that lineup is going to be dangerous. Eloy Jimenez out in left field. We know what he can do. He's a huge power hitter. I think having a guy like Edwin Encarnacion around him is going to be huge, because that's a professional. That's a guy who's a veteran who has done it for years, knows how to hit for power at the highest level. That's a good guy to have around Eloy Jimenez. Center field, still a little sketchy, still a little weak, but in right field, you got Nomar Mazara, who's only 24, 25 years old. This guy can still become a very good major league player. I love that trade for the White Sox. Moncada's probably going to stay at third base. He had a really nice year last year, looked like he was much improved, back to the player we expect him to be. Tim Anderson, was it an anomaly? We're still not sure, but if he can play at a very high level like he did in 2019, that's great for them at shortstop. At second base, they're probably going to bring up Nick Madrigal, and he's shown that in the minors he can rake. He's not going to be a huge power guy, but he hits for a good average, gets on base, and almost never strikes out, puts the ball in play all the time. Abreu at first base is good for 30 and 100 with a high OPS. You gotta love him there. Yasmani Grandal, although they had James McCann, who was perfectly fine last year and had a really nice year, Yasmani Grandal is the number 2 catcher in the game. Some maybe could argue number 1. One of the better hitting catchers in the league, one of the better defensive catchers. That's a huge upgrade. They added Dallas Keuchel, they added Gio Gonzalez, who already makes that rotation much improved, because in the past it has been so weak. I still don't think they have a great rotation, and a lot of people are relying on Kopech to come back, which, by the way, coming back from Tommy John at a young age, he's not pitching more than probably like 120 innings. Add him on to Lucas Giolito. Add him on to Reynaldo Lopez, who I'm not sold out on just yet. I think he can still be a very good pitcher. I like what the White Sox are doing out in the south side of Chicago. I like that they're going for it, trying to get the best players that they possibly can, improve that team, and right now it just looks like they're going with the mantra of, we're going to outscore you every single game. That's how we're going to beat you, which of course is a little bit obvious. You do have to score more runs than the other team to win, but it's going to be a lot of scoring in Chicago on the south side. A lot of games that are probably going to end like 10-8, 7-6. They have a chance to be really competitive in the American League Central, fight for a wild card spot. Another move that went down that I think was actually sneaky good for the Arizona Diamondbacks was signing Kole Calhoun to a 2-year, $16 million deal, and there's a third-year team option for $9 million. Now, do I think they'll end up picking that up? No, because Kole Calhoun's getting up there in age a little bit. By the time that he does hit that contract, it'll be his like 35, 36-year-old season, so I don't know if they really want to pay $9 million a year for him, but there is proof that Kole Calhoun can be very productive for the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2020, and I like the move a lot. First off, defensively, he's a plus outfielder defensively in right field, cannon of an arm, does a really good job with the range out there, automatically improves their defense for an Arizona outfield, which, yes, balls fly out of there like crazy, but it is a fairly spacious outfield in Arizona. He should be able to cover that right field really well. It gives him a left-handed power bat in there in a lineup that can sometimes be a little right-handed heavy, so that does add a little bit more balance, which is nice. And he does have some power. He showed last year in Los Angeles with the Angels that he can hit for some home run power. Probably had the best year of his career at the plate last year. In 152 games, he had 33 homers, 29 doubles, and a triple to give him 74 RBIs, 232 batting average with a 325 on base, 467 slug, and gave him an OPS at 792, which was a career high. You put him in Arizona in a better lineup in a much more hitter-friendly park. Kole Calhoun has the potential to have an even better year at the plate. You also add on how good he is out there defensively. Kole Calhoun's a really nice pickup by the Arizona Diamondbacks, improving on a team that's going to be very dangerous in 2020. They competed for a wild card spot last year, surprised everyone. I fully expect them to be right in the mix again in 2020 and have a really legitimate shot at making the playoffs. Like, I love what they've done this offseason. Good job by the Diamondbacks. They're running their organization great. And then 2 former Philadelphia Phillies signed a few days ago as well with new teams. You've got Maikel Franco going to the Kansas City Royals, which thank God he's out from the Mets. The Met killer himself, Maikel Franco, is gone. The dude is basically a AAA player against everybody else in the league, but against the Mets, he becomes Barry Bonds. And then Cesar Hernandez, another guy who destroys the Mets, and he is a much better player than Maikel Franco, but he performed way better against the Mets than he did against a lot of other teams. He signed with the Cleveland Indians. He's going to be their new second baseman, which I think is a nice little pickup again. He's not going to hit for crazy power. He doesn't get on base a lot, but he puts the ball in play, plays good enough defense at second base. For the Indians, who don't have a great lineup to begin with, I think he probably is an improvement right now over Jason Kipnis, which is who they had in the previous years. Not going to be the thing that takes the Cleveland Indians to the next level in the American League Central favorites, but I think it's a pretty decent pickup. So those are all the moves that I think we have to talk about that have happened that I didn't cover. I know obviously the big ones being Dellin Betances and of course Edwin Encarnacion. I'd love to know what you guys think about them down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Will Betances be a good player? Will Edwin Encarnacion make an impact? Remember, subscribe to the channel if you're new and you enjoy the content. If you love baseball, click that sub button, join the team. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at GiraffeNeckMarc. Links in the description. Always talking baseball over there. And we're going to wrap up today's video right then and there. You guys know the drill. YouTube recommends you watch this video right here, as well as this is my most recent upload. So click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you so much for watching today's video, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another one. We got a good one coming at you, so keep an eye out for it. Bye!